Hello everyone, my name is Takuya. I'll talk about generic drugs. In recent years, medical technology has been developing. For example, a gamma knife and a cyber knife. These are the high technologies of cancer medical treatment. These technologies remove a tumor by radiation. So, by using these technologies, we don't need to cut our body. The operation with these technologies can be finished within 30 to 90 minutes. The patient can eat and go back to work immediately after an operation, because those operations don't give damages to the patient's body. Medical technology is developed every year. Look at this graph. The average lifespan was 78 years old in 1985. Now it is 83 years old. It is good that the life is prolonged, but longer life requires higher medical expenses. In order to reduce medical expenses, Japanese government is promoting generic drugs. I'm a fourth-year student, and I'm currently job hunting. While hunting for a job, I have learned drugs problems, so I considered whether generic drugs would be required. Today's keywords. First, brand name drugs. These are the new drugs before a patent term goes out. Brand name drugs are called new drugs. Second, patent. Patent is official right. When a person invents something, only that person has the right to make or sell it. Generic drugs. Generic drugs are made based on brand name drugs. Do you know generic drugs? Do you have any idea about it? Probably, many people will answer that generic drugs are cheap. That's right. Look at this graph. The price of Loxonin and Okiminus are compared. Loxonin belongs to brand name drugs. Okiminus belongs to generic drugs. Both of them have similar effects. I compared those prices at the price per day. In the case of Loxonin, it costs 110 yen per day. However, Okiminus costs 18 yen per day. Why are the generic drugs cheaper than brand name drugs? Because those processes are different. Let's look at each development processes. The process of development of drugs. First, I'll talk about the development of brand name drugs. First, scientists find out the lead compound, which becomes a basis of a new drug. The best compound is selected out of the lead compounds. This takes from 2 years to 3 years. Next, scientists investigate a stable quantity and the directions for the drug. Also, scientists investigate what kind of bad reaction is caused by this. This takes from 3 years to 5 years. Next, 3 steps of experiments are conducted for humans. This takes from 3 years to 7 years. So, it will be put on the market as a new medicine if safety and an effect are accepted. In total time, it takes from 80 years to 20 years. New drug design needs cost and time. Now, I'll introduce a video lecture.
Drugs offer low-cost access to millions of patients and account for 80% of all prescriptions filled in the U.S. But where do generic drugs come from? They start as brand new drugs developed by biopharmaceutical research companies. A brand drug's life cycle begins 10 to 15 years before it ever reaches the patient. It involves extensive scientific research and medical testing and costs an average of $1.2 billion to develop, including the cost of failed drug candidates. There are many candidates that fail due to the many uncertainties along the way. On average, of the 5,000 to 10,000 drug candidates that enter preclinical testing, only about 5 will end up being studied in humans in carefully controlled studies called clinical trials. Out of those 5 candidate drugs, only 1 will eventually be submitted to and approved by the FDA for use in patients. While a new drug is being researched and developed, its patent application is filed years before it can enter the market. Following approval of a medicine by the FDA, generic companies are allowed to sell copies of a brand drug within about 12 years on average. In this time, drugs must earn enough revenue to fund continued research into new medicines. On average, only 2 of every 10 new drugs approved by the FDA will ever earn revenues to exceed average research and development costs, revenues that are needed to support the cost of many drug candidates that don't make it, and to fund future R&D projects. Generics, on the other hand, have very low research costs because they are approved by the FDA based on the research done by the company that developed the original brand drug. That's one reason generics can be offered at low cost. Generic companies don't have to do the extensive research that leads to medical advances. Once a generic becomes available, it can quickly replace use of the brand drug. Usually, the generic copy is overwhelmingly prescribed and dramatically reduces the brand sales. Generic drugs are the final phase of a long life cycle that starts with extensive research to develop a new brand medicine. Without innovative brand drugs, we wouldn't have the generic copies that follow, which are used at low cost by patients for decades to come. The prescription drug life cycle offers patients affordable access to medicines and continued research by innovative biopharmaceutical companies on new medicines in disease areas like Alzheimer's, cancer, multiple sclerosis, depression, and diabetes.
Thank you. This video is talking about the low cost of generic drugs. Generic drugs imitate brand name drugs. So, in total time, it takes from 3 years to 5 years. According to the difference of this time, generic drugs are cheap. I'll talk about the danger of generic drugs. The generic drugs are based on the brand name drugs. These effects are similar. The problem is that it is alike. Similar things are not the same things. According to the government, the error of a medical effect is allowed to 20%. An effect may not appear. An effect may appear too much. When you hear that an effect appears too much, You may have good image. It is a mistake. It is because a possibility that effect will happen becomes high. More than enough is too much. I am worried that brand name drugs may be lost. It costs too much to develop new drugs. However, brand name drugs can be monopolized in only about 5 years. That is, it is difficult to make profits. This is a future image. The number of the companies which makes a new medicine will decrease. Many of the companies which make a new medicine will change to the company which makes generic medicines or be bankrupt. This problem is similar to the problem of an octopus. Do you know octopus? An octopus will eat his leg if the octopus gets hungry. If we buy generic medicines, we lose power to make a new medicine. That is, our future health may be lost. I am opposed to the promotion of the generic drugs by which may lose our health in the future. In order to prevent it, companies of brand name drugs need to make profits. I propose two methods. First, the selling price of a new drug should be raised. Since there is no drugs which opposes during a patent term, drugs can be sold at a high price. By this, the company can make profits. However, this method is not recommended. It is because reliance may be lost in compensation for profits. So, I will propose the second method. Companies should look for small profits and quick returns. Companies of generic drugs cannot enter into a market through price administration is performed. However, this method is also difficult because the drugs cannot be bought when new drugs are developed. Government recommends generic drugs in order to hold down medical expenses. Is money more important than health? Thank you for listening.